your endodontic high gloss. So first two instrument, bulk reduction, which are green in color. These two green stones are for the bulk reduction. Then two white stone, which are called the bullets or a white stone, used for finishing. Okay, and these two are called knives, and these four are called wheels. These are used for a polishing, and these two for a high gloss. One is cup and one is disc. Is it clear? Bulk reduction, final gloss, and these two finishing, and these six are for polishing. Okay. So this is your composite finishing kit. One, we have a amalgam finishing kit. Okay. This is your amalgam finishing kit. Can you appreciate everything is written on the equipment material? See, this is amalgam finishing kit. Don't get confused. This is not a composite finishing kit. So this amalgam polishing kit, this you can see the brown color. These brown instruments are used for a pre-polishing of the amalgam, because we are already carving the amalgam, so there is no bulk reduction of an amalgam. So these instruments are used for a pre-polishing. The green, these four green instruments are used for a polishing, and the super green, these two super green instruments which have a yellow band color coding, these are used for a high gloss, that is post polishing. Brown are pre-polishing, green polishing, post polishing or a high gloss are the super green instruments. Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Pre-polishing, polishing, post-polishing. Basically, the green one, the one with the yellow band, the last two one which are called as super green instruments are used for a final gloss. So this is about your amalgam polishing kit, and this is your composite polishing kit. We have one more polishing kit which is again a composite polishing kit, which is available in a disc form. Again, we have a color coding. It's written on this, the black color coding, which is coarse. Then we have a violet, which is medium. Then we have a green, which is finer one, and the red one, which is super fine, used for a final finishing. So these discs are, you can see these discs are provided with your mandrel. Something called as, this is called as your mandrel. Again, it's a latch type of instrument. I am going to fit this mandrel into the disc like this, and then we are going to use this for a polishing. Okay, so for the bulk reduction, again you can use the coarse and the medium one, and the final finishing you can use the green one and the red one. Am I clear? So this is your super snap or a shofu polishing discs. Is it clear? So this is available in a disc form, and for the polishing of your proximal surfaces, we have a proximal strips. Okay, again the proximal strips are color coded, similar to your this disc, like a black and the violet. So this is one side is black, the other side is violet. Similarly, we have a green and a red one. It is supposed to be a red, it's not pink. Okay. So this is color coding, depending upon the bulk of the restoration we are going to use. For bulk reduction, black and violet, and the finer ones are green and red ones. And these are the proximal polishing strips used only on the proximal surfaces. The remaining are used on the labial surfaces, palatal surfaces, and the incisal surfaces. Am I clear till now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So this is about your composite restoration. Okay, one more thing. This is your shade guide. So before doing any composite restoration, you're supposed to select the shade of that particular tooth before cutting the tooth structure. Okay. What time your lecture is starting?
Ma'am, 11 o'clock.
11 o'clock. How much time we have?
1 hour.
1 hour. Very good. Okay. Then coming to your rubber dam kit. Okay, you must be knowing what are the parts of rubber dam kit. So this is your template. So you need to select which tooth you're working on. Suppose I'm working on this tooth, number 4, 6. I'm going to put a template, and on top of that we are going to put a rubber dam sheet. So this is your rubber dam sheet. I am going to mark which tooth I am going to work on. Mark it with a pen, with your marker. Then punch the rubber dam with the help of your rubber dam punch. This is your punch. Okay. So depending upon the which tooth you are going to work, accordingly I am going to select the tooth number. So this is your rotating table. Suppose I am working on a lower central incisor. The smallest diameter hole I am going to put it on the rotating table. Suppose I am working on a molar. So molar, because it's a larger tooth surface, we can use the second last one or the last one on the rotating table. So once I set, if at all I'm working on a molar, I am going to set the largest hole. Once I mark a tooth number on the rubber dam sheet, we are going to So once I put my rubber dam sheet, once I have marked it, I am going to punch it like this. Okay, so this is how you're going to get the hole on the required marked area. Okay, so this is your template. This is, you need to identify what are the parts of the rubber dam kit. Template, rubber dam sheet, your punch, rubber dam punch. These two are your clamp holders. Clamp holders. This is your rubber dam clamp. So you need to know what are the different parts of the rubber dam clamp. This is your rubber dam holder. This is how you are going to hold the rubber dam clamp. So these are different types of rubber dam clamps. Different types of rubber dam clamps, different manufacturers has a different numbers. So don't worry about the numbers. At least you should be able to identify the clamps. Basically, these butterfly clamps, can you appreciate these butterfly clamps? These are used for an anterior isolation. So basically, I'm going to put it in the tray. These two clamps. These are the anterior rubber dam clamps. I'm going to put only these three things. So this is your premolar rubber dam clamp, and this is your anterior clamps. These are your clamp forceps. These two are your clamp forceps to carry the clamps. Rubber dam punch, sheet, and your template. One more thing we have is a rubber dam wedges. It's written on this wedges. It's like this. Wedges, these are nothing but your elastic cords So these are used to secure the rubber dam sheet in the interproximal area. Okay, so these are called wedgets. Okay, any doubt about this rubber dam kit? Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So now we finish with your rubber dam kit. Next is your, these are the X-ray mounts. So if at all you're coming for the exam and you're working on a patient, you need to have these X-ray mounts. X-ray mounts are easily available to mount your X-rays. So try and get your X-ray mounts if at all you're working on a class 2 cavity and you have a radiograph for that patient. Okay. What else? This is again a conventional class 2 model. This is alloy, silver alloy and mercury. Everything is written on it, so nothing to worry. This is GIC. We have a eugenol liquid and dical base paste and catalyst paste. Okay. Yes. We're good to go. Done. Any doubt till now? Now everyone can unmute yourself, please. Unmute yourself and kindly any doubts can ask me right away. You want me to repeat anything now?
Ma'am,
Bolo.
can you show composite finishing words again?
Composite finishing, very good. Okay, these are the aluminum oxide alpine composite polishing kit. The white one, whichever is the white one, is the aluminum oxide. So you should know you should be able to answer what the material is made up of. Okay, so this is your composite polishing kit. We have a 2 green burrs. These green stones used for, I can't see. Okay, these 2 green stones are used for a bulk reduction of a composite. These 2 are the bullet white stones are used for a finishing. 2 knives, 4 wheels are used for the polishing of the composite, and 1 disc, 1 cup and 1 disc are used for a final gloss of a restorative material. Composite polishing kit and amalgam polishing kit. The brown ones are used for a pre-polishing. 4 green ones are used for your polishing, and the super green, 2 super green with a yellow band balls are used for a final gloss. Anything else?
Ma'am, can you show the clamps again? The rubber dam clamps.
Clamps.
Yeah.
The clamps is not important. You should just able to identify what is it and what are the parts of the clamps. This is a different. We have a different clamp from the different manufacturer. So different manufacturer is going to give a different numbers to the tooth. Like we have a U-Fredi instruments where the premolar is used. Number 27 is given for premolar and 26 number is for molars. So this is a different kit again. So these are the different clamps. But anyways, I'm not going to keep this thing. I'm going to keep all individual clamps. So this is. I'm going to keep only these 3 clamps. Don't worry. So one is the primo. This is a clamp, a premolar, and these are the butterfly shape are used for an anterior. Anything? Okay, I think Siddharth want to know what is the sterilization protocol. Very good. So you should be knowing what are the precautions for in general we are taking for normal patients. What are the precautions we normally take? There are different kind of precautions, standard precautions है, transmission based precautions है. Yes or no? Beta, please read about all these things. So because of this COVID, we are going to use standard precautions along with my transmission based precautions. Because it is a transmission based disease, right? It's a COVID disease. It is a transmissible one. So I am going to use standard along with the transmissible precautions. So now what are the standard precautions? Okay, if at all the patient has come with HIV or hepatitis B or hepatitis C, what are the precautions we are going to take?
Universal safety precautions.
Universal. What do you understand by universal and standard precautions? Okay. So if the patient has come with HIV, hepatitis B, hepatitis C, we are going to take a standard-based precautions. If at all the patient has come with a TB or for that matter COVID, it will be transmission-based precautions. Okay. So now, okay. So suppose I am going to do a root canal therapy in a COVID patient. How are you going to sterilize these endodontic files? So because it is a transmission-based precaution we are going to take, we are not going to scrub the instruments. No manual scrubbing of the instruments. Ideally, we are supposed to dispose these instruments. Yes, because these are endodontic files are single use. Now, because you're working on a conservative class 2 restorative instruments, you're not going to scrub or you do a manual scrubbing. In case of endodontic files, avoid a manual scrubbing. This is something called as endodontic box with a sponge in it. I am going to put a chlorhexidine solution in this and do a vertical stroke, 10 strokes in this, so that whatever the debris are there on the files, we are going to remove that. Once I do that, I am going to put these instruments in an ultrasonic bath. Ultrasonic bath for 20 minutes. Similar with your hand instruments. Once we do ultrasonic bathing of the instruments, then directly we're going to put these instruments in a steam sterilizer. Am I clear? And whenever I'm using a PPE kit, so whatever the infected materials are there, like your outer part of the gloves. Okay, you are knowing that we are going to wear a gown, PPE kit, your goggles, your mask, N95 mask, your shield, your 2 pairs of a glove, your shoe cover. So whatever the infected part is there, like my outer part of the gloves, like my shield, I am going to dispose all these things in a yellow bag. We have a color coding for the bags, right? So yellow bag will go all the infected material, and the uninfected one like your shoe cover or your uh, N95 mask, because we have worn a shield. So N95 is not come into contact with your aerosol. So I am going to put that in your red bags. Am I clear? So ideally, what are we going to? How are you going to prevent the infection in your tubings? Dental chair tubings. Tubings are there. Hello. Okay. So ideally, we are supposed to have a anti-retraction walls in your tubing, so that it will prevent the retrograde, or so that whatever the infection is there in the tubings, it should not come into the patient's mouth. So we have a retrograde walls in the anti-retraction walls in the tubings, so that the whatever the biofilm is there in the tubing, it is not coming into the aorta. That is one thing. And we are supposed to flush the tubings. Okay, so before starting of your treatment early morning, 2 minutes flush before starting the procedure, and 30-second flushing of these dentinal tubings between the patients. Before starting for the day, 2 minutes of the flushing with your hypochlorite, or you can use a povidone iodine. 2 minutes before starting for the day, and between the patient 30 seconds. Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
So before starting with your patient, supposedly you're working here, so you're going to work on the patient. So I want you people to come 1 hour prior to the exam, and whichever chair you're working on, put cling foil everywhere. Cling foil on your working table, on both the working areas. Put it on your light, put it on the headrest, put it on the handle armrest of the chair, and try to get extra mask for yourself, and try to get extra drapes, and if possible you can get your mouthwash. So these small things will definitely going to count. So if at all you're getting a chlorhexidine or a povidone iodine mouthwash, so that if the patient is gargling before the procedure, 5 minutes before the procedure, so automatically the viral load will reduce. Okay. So all the disposable material, like a disposable glass, all the disposable material, and you are supposed to give your instruments for your autoclaving. So I'm assuming everyone will give a 2 set of instruments for autoclaving. Whenever you're coming to the college, write your name on the pouch, give it to More ma'am. She will keep your autoclave instruments ready. And one more thing, if at all you want to work or practice before the exam, we are going to provide a PPE case. Come and try and practice. Any class 1, class 2, GIC. Basically, we want you people to know how it feels when you work with a PPE kit. It is I'm mentally prepared. I'm not scaring you people. I'm mentally preparing you people. It is very, very, very difficult to work with a PPE kit. So because we are providing your PPE kits, try and work at least one patient before your exam. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
बोलो और कुछ डाउट है? I think you should be knowing about the COVID, तो थोड़ा सा डिटेल्स में पढ़ के आ जाओ बेटा. Everyone. Anything else? given as a infection control guidelines. We have an infection control guidelines also, right? Hello.
OSHA guidelines.
So everyone is having that guidelines.
No, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, I'll try and send it across. What are the latest infection guidelines? So at least read about that. It's not related to COVID, I'm telling you. In general, what we got, because I think this time everything, the Viva will be more concentrated towards your sterilization infection control. Okay? So read more about that thing and a little bit about COVID also. Anything else? Gayatri?
Yes, ma'am.
Anything else? Anything else? Yes or no? If nothing is there, we can wind up there.
No, ma'am, no doubts.
Okay. So don't panic.
Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
Hello?
Yes, ma'am, you are audible. Yes, ma'am.
Hello?
Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Some wrong. Okay. So any doubts till now? Any doubts? Shall we move ahead?
Yes, ma'am.
अरे यार मुंह तो खोलो यार. What is the problem?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Have you understood everything or you're not understanding anything? At least some
Ma'am, we have
feedback.
understood.
Understood everything.
Okay, so these are the classroom models. So when examiner is giving you, don't blindly say it's a class 1 cavity. It's a conventional class 1 cavity on a maxillary first molar. Okay, this is class 1 compound. So you should know all the GV Black's classification and all. This is your class 3 or class 4. The cavity involving the proximal surface is class 3 without the incisal edge, and with the incisal edge is class 4. What is this? This is your sagittal section of a class 2 cavity. Okay. So we have a lot of syringes. So you need to read what is written on the syringes. Can you see this is a root canal preparation? It's written on this already. So it's an EDTA used as a lubricant while doing a cleaning and shaping. Okay, and the one more syringe which is similar, it's written solo H, that is containing a 37 phosphoric acid. So 37% phosphoric acid is used for a etching while doing a composite restoration. So don't get confused. Read what is written on the syringes. 37% phosphoric acid to use etch the tooth surface, and this is EDTA to use used as a lubricant while doing a cleaning and shaping of the root canal system. Okay, so once you etch the tooth surface,